Welcome back to redheart.com as well as the Crochet Crowd. I'm your host Mikey, and in today's tutorial we're going to explore the back loop square. Now, back looping in crochet is really interesting because it's something that you would see sometimes in headbands of a hat. It's required when you need that extra bit of stretch in your crochet because it does want to contract and expand with each other. Great concept. It is really quite easy and wonderful. Some people love back looping or back loops, some people don't. You know, it's a personal preference, but there is a purpose for it. So in today's tutorial we are going to be working with the Stitch-cation pattern. I'll provide a link in the more information of this video, but I'm going to show you how easy it is to do back loops and to have fun to make the Stitch-cation afghan at the same time. So let's get started now. Okay, let's begin. We're going to start off with a slip knot, and I'm using an extra long tail because I'm going to weave that in afterward if you were doing your project. And simply I want you to begin. So remember that this never counts as one. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and go all the way to 36 on your own, and when we come back I'll meet you up then and we'll start working on this project together. To begin, we need to prepare this chain so that we can start our pattern. So to begin to do that, we have to single crochet ourselves along this chain. So we have to come to the second chain from the hook. So 1 and 2, turn the chain over so that you can see the back hump of the chain coming up, and you want to single crochet into that. Once you do that, the next hump that you see, the next loop, will be sticking up like that. And basically you just have to single crochet yourself very easily all the way across in order to get this pattern started. So please just single crochet using the back loop of your chain all the way across, and I'll meet you back up in just a moment. So I've come all the way across, and now I'm going to turn my work, and now we're going to start doing the back loops. So let's just start first and then I'll get more into it. So we're going to start off with chaining of 3 first. So 1, 2, and 3, and that counts as a double crochet in the rules of double crochet. Okay, so we are in the rules of crochet. So let's begin. When we go and look at a stitch, for example, we're going to look at it and you always see that there's 2 strings. It's like a V shape. Now the front loop is the loop that is closest to you. Okay, the back loop is the one that's furthest away from your face. Okay, so what we're going to do is that it says to double crochet on the back loops only. Okay, so we're going to wrap the hook, and instead of going into the full stitch like you normally would, you're going to skip over the first one and go into the second. Okay, go into the one that's in the back and just double crochet as normal. Okay, so wrap. So once you get that first one up, it's almost very obvious where you have to go. We're back looping and people don't like to line up is when you start getting into stuff that's weird shaping. But when you're actually doing a full rows like this, it's just really easy just to kind of glide over that first loop, go into the back. So in crochet there's also front loops, there's lots of different opportunities to be able to play with stitches. You know, where you stick your hook can completely change the whole look and feel. So with our particular Stitch-cation afghan that we had is that we changed the color for every line. So this double crochet will be orange, but the next one could be a completely different color to give it a different look, and basically that's completely up to your creativity. So continue to back loop double crochet all the way across, and you can see that the ridges are starting to really take effect, and it's really quite nice. Before I get all the way to the end, I just want to explain something quickly to you, and this has happened to me several times because sometimes I just don't pay attention. You know, you're watching TV and I'm doing back looping now, but sometimes I accidentally just don't consciously think, and then I start doing some double crochets and then I forget, and then I look back and I'm like, okay, well then I'll do some back looping again. And what happens is that when you do a regular stitch, you kind of just destroyed the whole look of your project at this particular point. So this is one of those particular projects where if you are going to look up into the TV, make sure that your mind is still actually thinking about those back loops as you go, because it's one of those where you may not be able to notice right away, but you will definitely notice after you finish a whole row that you were just like not paying attention and not working to the back loops for a few of them. So it becomes very obvious once you get down to the end of the row if you don't notice it right away. So I'm coming all the way to the end. Don't forget to back loop on that final one as well, and it just makes a huge difference at the end. And It just is amazing if you can do it right all the way. So just for kicks, I'm going to change the yarn at this point. I'm gonna just fasten off the orange. I'm gonna bring on a different color and I'm just going to pull it through, and I'm just going to weave it into a few of these stitches, probably about 1 inch or 2 if I can. And it's a great way to kind of change your color, hide in your yarn now, than it is to kind of wait later and to weave in the ends. You can do it either way, but I like to be a little bit lazy and do it as I go, and then I don't have these unsightly yarn tails flying out everywhere as I'm working on my project. So let's begin. I'm going to just turn my work and get it ready for my next color. So I'm going to begin my next color. I'm just going to create a slip knot to start it off, put my hook into it, and I'm going to come back to the work just like you see here. So I'm just going to join it to exactly where I stopped before. Okay, just get everything going, and I just taken the loop and just joining it like this. Okay, now it's joined, and now I'm going to chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And now I just want to simply just come back onto the same line and just doing the back loops only. Okay, so we just turn it, and you just, the first one is always the tough one to start off with, but you want to look down and you kind of want to just compare to make sure. So this line equals this one equals this one, and we just immediately just continue to back loop it all the way across. So this allows the back loops element to be on both sides, because you are back looping on both sides. You don't lose the effect because essentially you're creating the ridges on both sides when you're doing so. So this is what we've done with Stitch-cation, is that we've changed the color with every line, and it creates a really amazing look. You have the back looping that will really stand out once you get beyond a few more rows. But in order for you to complete this afghan for Stitch-cation, you'll notice that this is actually a pretty painless and easy square to follow. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of redheart.com as well as the Crochet Crowd. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time as we teach you more free patterns, stitching ideas, and projects as we go.